What is prayer? Prayer is imagination plus intention. I want to talk to you a little bit about that. First, I'll just mention, if you're having some troubles in your life, maybe you got to a crossroads, you don't know exactly what to do, maybe you find it difficult to get your thoughts straight, or you don't know why you feel so anxious, I might be able to help you with that. So keep listening to the end of the podcast so you can hear a bit more. Let's get into it.
This is a beautiful thought.
I want to talk to you about something really quick about the imaginal techniques. I've been listening to a lot of Noah Lampert's podcast called Synchronicity. You can check that out at syncpodcast.com, and also Neville Goddard's lectures, which is what Lampert refers to a lot. And he has this technique of imagining the future, which will try to bring you a better future. The technique goes something like this. You visualize or you audialize a scene in the future where you can feel that the thing that you want has already happened. You've already achieved it. And you imagine the kind of feelings and you evoke the feelings that you would feel in that moment, and you try to imbue it with detail and emotion. So, for example, you're hearing the eggs frying and the oil crackling, and you're smelling the coconut oil in the air in the kitchen on that day of your new marriage or whatever it is. And you also introduce something into the scene, which is the knowledge that you did imagine this earlier. So it creates this connection between that future event and the present. And I've got to tell you, this works. So Lampert is fond of saying prayer is imagination plus intention. And those are really the only two elements that you need for prayer. And I do remember, even before I was listening to his podcast a few months ago, I was applying for Paraguayan residency. And in case you don't know, a couple of years ago, I was deported from Mexico. And I was kind of concerned that the immigration authorities along this path of bureaucracy were going to ask me, "So, you ever been deported from a Latin American nation?" And so I started praying about it and thinking it would be really nice if they didn't ask that and the process just went smoothly. And after a while of praying, like maybe 10 or 20 minutes, I had this feeling of assurance, like, yes, it's fine. There's absolutely nothing to worry about. It's absolutely fine, and it's going to go just fine. And it absolutely did. The bureaucracy went through just swimmingly. All I needed to do was go into a couple of offices, sign a few things, and get the police officers there to say that I appeared in the country, this sort of thing. Then last night, I was entering Mexico again for the first time after 2 years. 2 years and 3 months maybe after I was deported. And on the taxi ride to the airport, I was thinking, oh no, what's going to happen? Maybe the Mexican immigration authorities won't be so kind to me. Maybe they'll put me in El Cuartico, the little room, to interrogate me or something like that. Ask me a bunch of uncomfortable questions. And I was planning my trip very carefully so I could recite it and tell them where I would be on each day and tell them what kind of things that I would be doing in Guadalajara. In some countries, you need that sort of thing. Now, I was feeling a bit anxious. I got to the airport. I got on the plane. On the plane journey, I was imagining, once again, arriving at this apartment, my friend Karina's apartment, and handing her a bag of Colombian coffee that I had bought her from Peregrinos. I forget the name of the store. and just feeling the relief that I was back here in Mexico, relaxed and ready and content to be in the country that has been so kind to me and that I want to be so kind to in return. And that was more or less how it happened. I did give her the coffee in the morning, and I did feel relief, and I did feel, not even sure how to describe this emotion. I guess I was overwhelmed. I remember actually on the flight coming over, it's kind of silly. They were giving out snacks, and I got a pack of rancheritos, like corn chips. And on the pack it says, totopos de maíz nixtamalizado. And I was like, that's something I haven't seen in print. These words, if you know something about Mexico, these fill in a bit of cultural context, and certain regional sayings don't exist outside of Mexico. And I was like, wow, the moment's really real, like it's really happening. The point is, prayer works, and I recommend you listen to those Neville Goddard lectures and Noah Lampert's podcast, the Synchronicity podcast. Check that out. There's these practical techniques of imagining the future, and you don't have to be really that good at visualization. Like, say, you can imagine a close friend of yours telling you, congratulations on getting that promotion, or you've done so well on that project, it's astounded me. Or they tell you, I'm so glad that you found a partner who makes you happy, who you can make happy. And when you practice these techniques, at some point, 5 or 10 minutes in, you will have that feeling of certainty, like, yes, the prayer has been answered, your wish fulfilled, and everything is wonderful. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for staying grateful, and thank you for thinking beautifully. I'll talk to you next time.
A beautiful thought.
Thank you for stopping by, and thank you for tuning in, and thank you for imagining a better future. So I mentioned at the top, I might be able to help you if you're experiencing mental anguish, anxiety or depression or stress or other things, using cognitive behavioral techniques. So by asking these questions, what's going on in your mind? What's the real challenge? What do you want? And how might you get it? We can explore possible solutions to your problem and start putting into practice an action plan. So that's what cognitive behavioral techniques are about. If that interests you, head to beautifulpodcast.com, and you can see at the top there it says CBT sessions. At the moment, $6 an hour for a cognitive behavioral session. Also check out, you'll see the link there on beautifulpodcast.com, a link to the Telegram group. So if you want to jump into our group and have a conversation about how to enrich your life and be more happy, you're very much welcome. Check that out. Have a wonderful day.